Okay. There's another man I hired before you. Would you be willing to take him with you? I promise he's not a fucking psycho covered in leather. As Yahe spoke, the door from the room next door slid open, and when he saw who was standing on the other side, Jin gripped the hilt of his sword he'd just been given. Look at this! Fucking look at it! What the fuck is he wearing? You weren't ready, were you? Nobody was ready for that, were they? Itosai, that was his name, Itosai. The man casually held a frighteningly long sword. Well, we know his sword is frighteningly long, we know that much about him. Quite unlike the furious Jin, he was smiling at Supreme. Oh, by the way, I make jokes, but I mentioned there's a hot spring thing, and it's funny because you never see this in anime. There's always jokes in anime about, now you know what ladies would have to put up with watching that shit. There's always jokes in anime, oh, you have the biggest boobs, oh, you have the smallest boobs, or whatever. Even if they're not showing them, they at least talk about it. Guess what they do in the hot spring episode in this? Just over the rocks, in the warm water, they may or may not talk about. Yes. Yep. Who has the biggest dick? That is unfortunately an area where Mon is not perfect. They do cover this. There is a place he is sorely lacking. The man casually held a frighteningly long sword. I mentioned this because Itosai apparently does have a frighteningly long sword. But unlike the furious Jin, he was smiling in supreme contentment. It was an extremely cruel smile. Too much information? Yeah, I know, you know how we feel. Yeah, you know how the ladies feel. Look at him! Look, he's even got glasses. Look at that shit. He has the leather around his neck. Like, wouldn't that be a hazard? Somebody jerk on it the wrong way and you strangle yourself? Moving on. Oh, you're all uncomfortable. It's great. It's wonderful, really. He's got pointy chin disease. He does, doesn't he? Your head is shaped like an upside-down mountain. I have to talk through my hand. Look at that shit. Look at it. Yeah, I know. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I think he's more interesting than Bo, or like if you pick his route, it's a more interesting, fun one because it's like he becomes good or whatever, and there's something to cheer for there. So Bo and Muneshige are more are less interesting than him. So regardless of character design, he's a better choice. But still, my God, look at that! Look at it! It's so silly! It's so silly!